Okay, and we are live.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the May version of the Town of Kent Zoning Board of Appeals. On behalf of the entire board, we thank you for attending. Before we begin, I'd like you to join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to
the flag
the United
of the
States
United States of America,
to the
to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God,
God,
indivisible,
with
with liberty and justice
justice
for all.
for all.
Thank you very much. We have several items on our agenda this evening. Item number one up is Catherine and Claude Martinez Pierre, 27 Walden Road, Carmel. Mr. and Mrs. Pierre, why don't you tell us why you are here this evening?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I don't know what we're seeing. Hello? Can you guys hear us?
We can
I
hear
do hear you.
Okay, the screen switched to someone else. So we're here this evening. We're looking to renew our permit for the accessory apartment. It's a 5-year permit. I believe we got it back in 2016, and it was due to expire, so we put in our application to renew it.
Okay. Thank you very much. At this time, I'll open it up to any board members for any commentary they may have regarding this issue.
Yeah, this is just a renewal. I'll remind the other members, and the fire inspection was done.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm fine.
Okay, with that in mind, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye. Done.
Thank you.
Take care, folks. Have a good evening.
Is there anything else that we need to do at this point?
You can follow up with the appropriate department, and you can follow up with the appropriate department, and they'll renew your permit for you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Should we stay for the rest of the meeting, or you don't need us anymore?
You can. There's no, there's
It's going to be
no.
very, very boring.
You can hang out if you want. Place yourselves on mute so we don't get any loud television, and we'll be good.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye. Good luck.
Okay, next item on the agenda is Marion Healy, 470 Horse Pound Road, Carmel, New York. Ms. Healy, are you here with us? We're not joined by Ms. Healy yet. Ms. Healy, are you here with us? Marion Healy. Okay, Ms. Healy was requesting a 40-foot rear variance for a pre-existing shed and a 2-foot rear variance for a pre-existing deck. She's not here, so we will give her another shout in a little bit. We'll move on to the third item in the agenda is Nicola Evija. I hope I said that right. I'm sorry if I didn't.
I'm taking it from Victor's laugh. You really butchered that.
Yeah, I know. I think
I
did
respect
better
the
last time.
attempt. I respect the attempt. It's not an easy one.
Sir, why don't you tell us why you're here this evening?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. My name is Victor. I'm accompanied here by my father, Nicola. We're here requesting a special use permit for the pre-existing accessory apartment. Again, it's a 5-year renewal, but this one has yet to be approved.
Okay. I'll open it up to any board members for commentary on this matter.
I'll just refresh everybody's recollection. This was one on Beaver Hill that we did visit. We found at the time no issue. Excuse me?
No, he's muted now. You can go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to refresh the other members' recollection. This is one that we did visit, 18 Beaver Hill. We found no issues at the time with the apartment. It's actually in good shape, and it did have its fire inspection as well. That's all I have.
Thank you, Ron. Okay, If there's no commentary, I will ask for a motion to approve this application.
I'll make that motion.
All right, Brett, do I have a second?
I'll second.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you very much, sir. You can proceed and follow up with the appropriate department.
Got it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Okay, next item up on the agenda is Gerald Greco, 12 Schuylkill Court.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Greco, why don't you tell us why you're here this evening?
Again, just to renew the accessory apartment
Okay,
variance.
and at this time, I'll open it up to the board for commentary.
I'll just offer again a refresher that this is one that was already pre-existing. This is only a renewal. So we didn't go out to this one in particular because the fire inspection had been done and there were no issues.
Okay, anyone else on the board have any comments regarding this application?
No.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Brett, do I have a second? Do I have a second to approve this
I'll
application?
second that motion.
Okay,
Wait, torturing me there.
I'll
for a
second that motion.
favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
thank you, Mr. Greco. You can.
Thank you, sir.
With the appropriate department.
Yes, sir. Everyone have a good night. Stay safe.
Bye-bye now.
Thank you.
too.
Okay, next item up on the agenda is also a renewal for accessory apartment. Mr. Christopher George at 34 Deer Run Court. I see Mr. George is joining us here this evening. And, I do remember that we were out to your location, Mr. George, previously. And
1 second.
For
If I
a
may,
shed,
Chairman,
not an
Chairman.
apartment.
This
Yeah.
one is actually for the variance for the proposed shed.
oh, I'm sorry.
And we did go out. You're right, though. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was reading on the wrong line. I'm sorry. So it was request renewal for a previously approved variance for a shed. And Mr. George, is that correct?
That is.
Okay, great. I remember we went out there previously and we found no issues with it. I'll open it up to the board members if they have any commentary. Okay,
Yeah, I see no issue.
there being none, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Mr. George, you can follow up with the appropriate department.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
You too.
Okay. Now, next item on the agenda, before we call our last item, I will give another shout out to Marion Healy.
Yes, we're here.
We're here.
Great. So, Ms. Healy, why don't you tell us why you're here this evening?
To get a variance on a deck that's pre-existing,
Okay,
with variance.
okay. I'll open it up to the board members for commentary on this matter.
Again, I'll just state that this is one that we did go out and visit. We saw the deck. We did see the shed. We had no issues with it due to the site, the location. And that's all I'll say at this point. Anybody else?
No, I do.
I was out at the property as well. And I didn't see any issues with it.
Okay, great. With that in mind, do I have a motion to approve this application?
I'll make
I'll
that
make
motion.
that motion.
Okay, Joe, motion made by Joe, second Brett. Great.
I'll second that.
Travis.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank
You're
you, gentlemen.
Take,
you, gentlemen.
take care. Okay, last item up on the agenda is Dr. John Ryder, 170 Way on the Court, Carmel. Dr. Ryder, why don't you tell us why you're here this evening?
You're muted, Mr. Ryder.
Good evening. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good. Well, greetings, and I'm glad to have this opportunity with your good board to try and straighten out this little mess that has happened here. I understand that we have one small little house here, and I decided that it's such a beautiful spot here that I wanted to open this up to as many people as possible. So rather than doing this for myself, I made it into a public trust. I made it into a positive science center, which is my nonprofit corporation, so that once I pass away, it will stay in public trust for perpetuity and be held here as a place for people to come, rest, recharge, because it is a very beautiful little spot that I found. And I know that I was always under the impression that a psychologist such as myself is always allowed to have an office in a residential property. I even have one in my office in New York City. So I wasn't aware that there was any kind of issue about me practicing as a psychologist here. And I wanted to straighten out this situation. And I did read about your needs for variances. So I may make the following points. The land hasn't been really used as a residence for over 100 years. No one developed this land because it is at the end of a dirt road. And I think most people found it very scary, and it wasn't the place that most people would want to build a house and stay there because it is very, very isolated here. I looked at it as a perfect opportunity to do what I'm trying to do here. And I'm a psychologist from the day I was born almost. I've been doing this all my life, and my career has spanned across many countries and places I've gone to lecture and travel. And so I'm a major advocate of positive psychology. It's the business of how to create well-being, how to help people overcome obstacles with their strengths. And right now with this pandemic, I think that what I'm offering here is an excellent opportunity for people. And I welcome anyone to come here, to rest, to recharge their mind and body and return back home. And because I came here and I found this place, I put an enormous amount of effort here. We took out several containers of garbage. And since I've built this place, the police and the local rangers that come visit here said that it's become much nicer, much quieter, much cleaner. All of my neighbors, including Victor Tishop, and I think you guys have a petition that they all signed and gave to you guys, indicating that they're glad that I'm here. They agree with what I'm doing. They all are familiar with my place. They have all visited here, and they petition the board to accommodate me in whatever way necessary so that I can continue working and offering this beautiful place for other people. Just as you have a mandate to take care of the well-being of Kent Township, I have a mandate as well to maintain this nonprofit corporation. I have a board, I have a US vet on it, I have a doctor, I have a few colleagues on it, some artists, some writers, and we basically are there to promote well-being. And so I established this as a public trust, and I'm not here to just enjoy it myself. I don't have a family. I don't have children. So I act as a stepfather or stepbrother to whomever needs a little bit of time, caring, and attention. So what I'm requesting here is that you simply allow me to continue doing what I've been doing so that I can help other people. And anyone is welcome here. I'm here to promote well-being. So especially now during this pandemic, I think it's a very, very valuable opportunity for people just to come here, rest, meditate, and recharge their mind and body. I requested the zoning variance is a very minor thing. Nothing in this situation changes that it's a sort of a single family house. And since I don't have children, once in a while, maybe someone would stay overnight here at my house, a guest. I don't think it changes it. I didn't build a hotel or anything. And so there's an extremely small variance or net result of what I'm doing here. I do have the support of all my neighbors. And in fact, they all feel that I have made a significant improvement in the quality of their local area here. So I'm hoping that whatever it is that is still an objection, you could explain to me so that we can remedy it, because that's all I really want to do. I also brought my architect here who helped us do this, and I would like him to say a few words. I didn't bring a lawyer because I talked with Mr. Joseph Charbonneau, and he thought that we should be able to get the variance accepted. And in the event not, I guess we would have to go to some higher appeal of some sort. But I do believe that you guys are here for the benefit of our community, just as I am. And so I don't see a reason why we shouldn't be able to work together. And in the least, what I propose is that you give us a whatever temporary, a 1-year permit to do what I'm doing. And if the community likes it and no one complains, then it can become maybe a permanent variance in the future. But I don't see any problem in what I'm doing or offering here, because during this pandemic, what I'm offering is the things that we all need. And I think that if we support individual people such as myself in their local community, it certainly will spread out and offer help to many, many more people. And if you may ask my friend Joel Greenberg, who's a very respected architect here, his opinion on how whatever had happened that I think you guys have a problem with. Maybe he can straighten it out as well.
Well,
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Can you all hear me?
wait, Mr. First, before we begin, before we hear from you, we appreciate your coming here this evening. Dr. Ryder, I want to address some of what you've been discussing. And while we favor your efforts and your nobleness and you wanting this facility for the residents of the town, and we appreciate endeavors like that. However, you know, when I did some research on this matter, you know, it's clearly not a simple office as you would like us to believe. And I believe in a certain way, it's maybe even a bit disingenuous for you to promote it as a simple office, simply offering services to your clients. The fact is that you have been, from what I can tell, marketing this property for the Positive Science Center since 2017. And that was what I understand previous to your application was approved to build your home. And the home was approved as a single family dwelling. And that's exactly what you have been permitted to do. But I have to be honest with you, Dr. Ryder, when I see comments such as, we intend to build a gauntlet that challenges people in many ways to build confidence, stamina, resilience, and problem-solving skills. We intend to construct 3 levels, one for children 8 years to 14 and another 13 to 18 years old, and one for adults 18 plus. And I also see incentives for donors that they can use the property for a period of 2 weeks. You know, this goes beyond the scope, in my opinion at least, as a simple office in a very beautiful setting. And with that, I will open this up to my fellow board members for commentary.
So I just have a quick question for you, Mr. Ryder, Dr. Ryder. I've also seen, and again, I just want to reiterate what the chairman just said. We all appreciate and respect what you do, but that's a separate issue, obviously, from what you're here for. So, and I want to stick to that matter. I did see on your site, on your webpage, you have been promoting this as a center since 2017, 2018, correct?
been trying to get people to help me because this was a much more expensive endeavor than I had the income or the capacity to do. So I did get contributions because it is a 501c3 charity. And
While your organization is a 503c charity, this project, which again was constructed as a single family home, you were advertising on your own site as a school/center. That's my question. And it's still there.
That is
right?
the overall group, but honestly, that's what I was hoping would be possible to develop. At
Okay.
It's operating on a much, much smaller scale, of course.
Right. So my next question is, at the same time you were proposing this to your followers as a school, you were applying to the town to construct a single family home. And I believe your architect also submitted those plans as a single family residence. So my question is, why didn't you submit them at the time or request approval up front to build a school or enterprise on that property?
As far as I knew, my main project was just to have this house here as a place where we could have meetings and socialize and get together. I wasn't planning to build a huge hotel. So the plans that I found that I could afford to build was this single 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom house.
You could, Doctor, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. So you could understand where my concern is, really is, somebody was being misled, right? It was either your followers were being misled thinking you're building a school in the country, or the town was being misled that you were building a single family residence, correct? I mean, you could understand the concern here.
I think that none of my followers, as you call them, were misled.
That's what you call them.
The people that have supported me and helped me knew exactly what I'm building and what I'm trying to do here. I created a lot of those proposals that you read, but not all of them are going to be feasible or possible. I'm an optimist, so I try to see what can be done, and what can't be done, we table and put aside. The key here is that this is an opportunity to really help people. And the application that we put in, as far as I know, was for this 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom house that Mr. Greenberg submitted to the town. I hired him as an expert because I don't know how to do that. He did it. I don't know. When we went in front of the planning board, I volunteered to talk, and they told me to sit back down because they were concerned about all of the land issues, not the real planning of whatever I wanted to do there.
Okay. Well,
I wasn't hiding anything. And just one more little point. In 2017, I did go to Paul. I don't remember his last name. He was the tax assessor. And I showed him that I'm building this house. It's a nonprofit corporation. What do we do? And he said, oh, don't worry about it. There's a pilot program. If you don't pay taxes, there's a pilot program that we can institute. But don't worry about it. You have to take care of the house first, build it, and then come back to me. So Paul could sorry that I went to him, and I did, even from the very beginning, bring up this issue and discuss it with him. And then even 3 years ago, I went to Seth, and I kept coming to him every year, explaining to him, giving him the paperwork. He said, don't worry about it. When you finish with the planning board and have your C of O, come back to me.
Okay. So all I can say to
I didn't think I was doing anything wrong.
Mr. Ryder, I just want to say I appreciate your response. Of course, all of that is hearsay without the other person here or having that in writing from them. But in any event, all I want to address here is
about it.
I'm sorry?
I believe Vera knows that I went to him.
Okay.
We can only address, here's the thing. It doesn't really matter who you went to. The fact is, all the paperwork that was submitted that we have from the Board of Health to the original request, and even the CO inspection, it was all done as a single-family residence. It was not done as a nonprofit school or other use in an R80 district. So I think you've addressed all the questions I had. I have no further comment, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Does any other board member have any commentary? And before I go there, just to address it, Mr. Ryder, a couple of your comments. You continue to say, you were only speculating and you didn't know if these things would be possible. Well, Dr. Ryder, your website and your marketing is very definite and very specific. It doesn't discuss possibilities. It doesn't discuss anything like that. It is very, very specific. So with that, does any other board member have any other comments on this matter?
I'm going to have to agree with the board's concerns. There are a number of them. And I echo Gordon and Ron's concerns as well, 100%.
And, I'm not going to comment, Dr. Ryder, on what Mr. Jonke may or may not have said to you. The bottom line is it's before the appropriate body. You had other options before time, but you're here now. And, I certainly, in good faith, I cannot, advocate for this application. So with that, if there's no other further comments.
May I say something, Mr. Chairman?
Sir, you're not recognized by the chair. You're not recognized. So we are, sir, do you have anything pertaining to what was discussed in this matter regarding what was discussed in this forum right now, other than your architectural background?
Well, yes, as Dr. Ryder said, we applied to the planning board, went through a long process of quite a few months to address the site. If you've been to the site before anything was built, it was basically a dumping site, and you have no idea how many.
Sir, can I cut you off right there? We've heard Dr. Ryder's issues and how he's cleaned up the property, and we can all appreciate that and how he's made it a better place. And at this juncture, I'm going to ask if there are any for a motion to approve.
May I just say one more thing, Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I think that the board, Dr. Ryder has brought up a lot of indications as to how he wants to see the site approved. And I think the board members, yourself and the other board members, have brought up a lot of issues, which I think Dr. Ryder should have a chance to respond after, after looking over and reading the minutes of this meeting. So I would like to ask you if you could possibly just hold this case over for 1 month and to see if we can respond and get some good answers to all your questions.
Sir, I will. At this time, I'm not going to hold this case over for another month. And however, Dr. Ryder has every right to, as we said, pursue other avenues, or he can reissue or refile another application on some other grounds. But as this application has been presented to the Zoning Board of Appeals at this time, that's how we're going to vote. So I'm going to ask for a motion to approve this application. A motion to approve the application.
I'll make that motion.
You're making a motion to approve Dr. Ryder's application.
I'm sorry. No, not to approve. No.
Okay. A motion to approve Dr. Ryder's application. Any board members? Okay. There being none, there's no motion. The application is not approved. We thank you, gentlemen. We thank you, Dr. Ryder, for submitting the application. And with that, I bid you all good evening. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Do I have a motion to adjourn from a board member?
I think we have minutes I want to approve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vera.
1 second. Yep.
Okay, I'm assuming all the board members received the minutes from Vera and had an opportunity to review them. At this time, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the minutes as stipulated.
I make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Brett, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I just want to say one thing too. When Mr. Ryder mentioned how I knew that he went to see Seth the assessor, Seth came to me and Bill when Ryder was in with him one day. That's the only connection I had to it.
Okay, well,
Vera, that's okay. It's hearsay anyway. We don't know what was said or discussed or.
Well, Seth just wanted to do what you guys did. He wanted to see what he filed with the planning boards, which I gave him.
Okay.
Well, that's fine. Thank you for that. Is there any other issues before the board?
No.
Proceed to close. Okay, there being none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay,
I'll second that motion.
with that, I bid you all a good night and we'll see you again in June.
Take care.
All right.
Everyone.
Good night.